Good evening, everybody. So today I'm going to be doing my final presentation for my senior capstone for IDS 4500. In a kind of follow up to my last video, where we had the kind of rough draft and whatnot, I kind of went back and was able to bulk up and find some new content to add to my paper. Now, one of the issues I had as we were kind of going through this was finding contrary opinions and finding other opinions that countered uh, what my project kind of was addressing. So my capstone centered around people in the informal economy, and more importantly, women in the informal economy. And the informal economy, again, is an economy that works outside of the social contracts that we have kind of come to expect. And those social contracts are, say, for instance, you go to McDonald's, you get a job, you sign a sheet that's a contract that states you'll be working X amount of hours for X amount of pay. You submit I-9s, you submit IDs, and we are ready to go. We are copacetic. Um, the informal economy, unfortunately, does not have that. And the informal economy is, again, defined by businesses' work that operate outside of mandated government conventions, like the one I just mentioned. And in this world, if you are part of a union, then you will have additional safeguards in place, um, which may include things like vacation, sick time, pensions in some regards that workers can tap into. But the people on the outside of that, the people who work outside of that, the informal economy, these people do not have those options. So for the rough draft, looking at notes from Dr. Chevalier and from the my peers, I went back and kind of tightened up the grammar and tightened up some ideas. But like I said, I went out and started looking for contrary opinions to help. Because we have to look, we have to listen to these opinions, and those opinions, interestingly enough, came from a institution called the World Bank. And the World Bank essentially tests the fitness of countries and the economic fitness. How viable are they? But in doing so, they tend to shut out the informal economy. They look at it as something that is underdeveloped. They don't look at it as a thriving community. They're looking, and their main goal, because they are a for profit institution, is investment. Um, and investment does not have people in mind. Investment has politically stable regions with stable economic um, groundwork or foundations for them to do their investment in. So the issue with that is that not everybody that lives in a country like an emerging country really has any interest in whether or not they're going to be getting an Amazon or whether or not they're going to be getting a McDonald's. Uh, in a lot of cases, their own informal economy is what props up their nation. So the World Bank definitely has some issues with the informal economy. But however, even in their contrary stance, they are still stating that things have to be done. They believe in the legitimacy of the workforce, and they believe that safeguards need to be in place. And so those things come through um, advocacy, activism, a lot of grassroots organizations, NGOs coming in and helping prop up the infrastructure of these countries. So even in a contrary position, they're still providing a roadmap for the formal economy to be recognized, albeit they don't want to see it as the primary GDP, but they want to see these things available. And secondary to that, things that I also looked at for, in addition to bulking up these things, was to look at COVID and the pandemic and some of the issues that kind of were related to that. And again, I looked at WeGo co-founder Martha Chen, and WeGo again is an NGO, and Martha Chen is a co-founder of this organization that centers on women in the informal economy. And she had an excellent video through one of these NGOs where she kind of discusses, some of the issues that kind of came out of the pandemic, and how, as we are close to 3 years out of the height of the pandemic, academic research is gonna be done here, and they're gonna take a hard look at what happened, what failed, what didn't fail. She takes a hard stand against the World Bank and their opinion that the informal economy is underfunded or underdeveloped, and providing no return to these communities. So I kind of went through all of this. I added all these things to kind of bulk it up. In the end, I really felt like I needed more sources. I needed primary sources. I really felt like I would have benefited from going out and doing field work, and meeting people. I am fortunate to live in a community where we have a very large transient population of agriculture workers that come in and come out. I am a Spanish speaker, and going and speaking to these groups and talking to these families or individuals to find out more about their life and about what they're doing, I think would have really benefited from this project. So here we are, the end of the capstone. I'm elated. It has been a heck of a journey, and I look forward to seeing everybody's work in the future.